when I went to open that paper towel, I was so surprised to see that, lo and behold, my theory was right. You can grow pineapples from the seeds in the fruit and not just from the crown on the top, because they grew and they sprouted and they were looking so darn cute. They looked like little tiny baby pineapples in the form of a seed. So I planted them in soil and hoped and prayed that the squirrels didn't come to eat them, and it actually grew quite nicely. I decided to leave it in my grow box to optimize our chances of survival because these seeds were really delicate. And as they continued to grow, I went to check on our pineapple in soil, and it was doing quite well. As doubtful as I was that we could really grow a pineapple in Canada since it gets so cold in the winter, I reminded myself that if my grandma used to do it, then I was determined. And by the time the winter was over and summer came back around, this is what we were working with. It was looking beautiful and ready to live back outside in the summer sun, and soon the summer began to pass before my very eyes and our pineapple plant continued to grow. Before I had to bring it back inside for that following winter, I knew that it was time to experiment with our pink pineapple. I just couldn't find them anywhere, so when I finally found them at a little farmer's market, I was so excited to bring it home and search for the seeds inside and taste it for the first time since I never had seen a pink pineapple in real life before. But they are most definitely real, and technically, if I'm not selling these pink pineapples, I'm good to grow the seeds inside. Because like I mentioned, these pineapples are patented, so you can't grow them at home. They make it known by cutting those crowns off so you know not to grow it. But I'm sorry to say Del Monte, but pink pineapples do in fact have seeds that are very much growable. It worked with the yellow ones, and it will surely work with the pink. And if you're wondering like I was, well, how in the heckin' makes these things pink? They contain lycopene, which is a pigment that gives fruit color. Anywho, I removed the seeds, got them on a damp piece of paper towel in orderly fashion, sealed it up in a baggie, and of course, I had to taste it to see if they were different from the yellow ones. They were just a little sweeter and less acidic and overall tasted better, so I was happy. Highly recommend, 10 out of 10. But as I waited for my pink pineapple seeds to sprout, I also kept checking on my pineapple in soil, of course. As that next summer passed before my very eyes, the pineapple kept growing, and soon it was looking extremely large, and I felt like a proud mother. I repotted it, added some mulch, some new topsoil, and it eventually grew to a point where I felt like my little baby pineapple should be growing by now. You could see the whole middle part began to get so much more defined, and it's safe to say that I was really excited. But it had only been about 2 years by now, and it can take around 4, so I knew I had to keep waiting for our little pineapple plant to finally give birth. Until one day, I made a fatal mistake. For some reason, I left the plant outside for the beginning of the frosty season because it wasn't so cold yet. It was really